children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Welcome to Final Guys, the horror podcast that turns tricks. All right.
Only one of us.
And he's going to be late.
That's right.
I'm Jack. This is Jason. And our buddy Hunter is in traffic and will join us when he joins us. How's it going, Jason?
I am alive. It's Thanksgiving week, so things are a little truncated. So a little mad dash here at times, particularly for my wife. But I'm alive. And I'm going to be eating turkey and drinking much very soon.
Yes, we can all use a long weekend.
Oh, hell yeah. And then probably watch a bad movie at the end of it for next week.
So we really screwed up this week. We chose Trick as our movie, and then after we had sort of already established it and gone our separate ways, I realized that Thanksgiving 3 is now on Shudder.
Oh, damn it. That would have been perfect.
Maybe we should do that next week.
Maybe we should. Damn it, I forgot they even made that, to be honest.
I don't know. Thanksgiving 2 is, I don't know where that is, but
I think the joke is that they never made it.
that's probably it.
It seems like the fitting humor for that movie.
Yeah. So before we get to the horror news, you got anything you want to talk about, or you want to just give the drinking words for this week?
Well, I wanted to mention, now that you said about Thanksgiving, the guy who directed that, his name is Jordan Downey, has directed another movie that just hit Shudder called The Headhunter.
Oh, yeah.
That I watched a while ago, and I really enjoyed. I thought it was extremely well made, and the budget was $30,000. Now, when you watch this, that will blow your mind. It's a pretty well made movie, so check that out on Shudder. I think you'll like it.
That actually might be one of my ones over the weekend, because I've been holding out on that one. I didn't want to pay-per-view it. I was like, this is going to be on one of my damn subscriptions. I'm getting so tired. I just got Disney Plus, and I'm going through all these friggin' apps I have, and some of them are free, and some of them you pay for, and then something like Amazon. You know, every movie you want to watch is pay-per-view. It's it's 1 out of 3 is like included in your subscription. I'm tired of this. I should be able to watch a week's worth of movies without paying per pay-per-viewing for any of them. So the Headhunter was one of those ones I was like, it's only like an hour and a half or hour and 15 minutes or something like that. I'm like, I'm holding out. So I saw that Shudder. I said, yes, I won.
I don't even remember if there's dialogue in the movie, to be honest with you. It's one of those kinds of things. So I think you might like it. It'd be worth your time, better than pay-per-viewing something. Also, excellent. I am uploading a new So Bad It's Good tomorrow. So when everyone's drinking before Thanksgiving, hop on YouTube and watch our review of Bloodbeat, which is about a rural Wisconsin family who is terrorized by a samurai that appears when one of the women in the house has an orgasm. I'm not making that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So was put out by Vinegar Syndrome, and they put out some gems. So Bloodbeat will be up tomorrow. Check it out on my YouTube page. Oh, you want the drinking rules too, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to forget them otherwise. All right, your words are Jamie, Walking, and Shudder. Hunter's are Trick, Paid, and Atkins. And mine are Omar, Kills, and Amazon. And the bonus words are Hatchet, Slasher, and Mask. What the hell?
I had already forgotten that Omar Epps was in this movie.
Yeah, I actually had to. I was looking at Omar, like, why the hell would I say Omar? I watched the movie an hour ago.
So wait a minute. What were my words?
Jamie, Walking, and Shudder. So
okay.
He's keeping count in the chat. Apparently we've already said these words 10 times. 12 times now.
Oh. All right. You ready for some horror news? I got some interesting stuff this week.
Oh, that'll be nice.
First of all, I wish Hunter was here for this one because I'd love the look of disgust on his face because he probably isn't going to like this one, even though I don't know, it's not necessarily bad news. It's just I'm not optimistic about it. So did you see the trailer for the Invisible Man movie that's coming out?
No, I didn't know the trailer dropped.
Trailer dropped, and so this is kind of the new direction for the Universal horror. So the dark universe is dead, but they're making movies, and along with Invisible Man, they're now going to make a movie about Renfield, the Dracula servant guy. And when I saw this, and I'm like, really? Do we need a movie about Renfield? And then I saw it's expected to be set in modern times.
Okay.
So I'm going, okay, what is this, Dracula in modern times? Or is this the character became a vampire and survived?
Well, that would at least be more interesting than just retelling Blade 3 again. I've seen that. What they call him in that, Drake? He's wearing chainmail and shit.
I don't remember. I honestly did not remember that at all until you said that.
It's a good movie.
I am a huge Dracula fan, and until I see a trailer that changes my mind, I'm going, really? I feel like they're now just mining every property. Like, you could see it starts at the CW. They're like, well, let's make a TV show about Batman before he was Batman. And now they're like, well, how about if we make a series about Alfred the Butler before he was Alfred the Butler? And they're like,
original ideas are dead, my man.
Well, you want some good news? I got some good news.
Yes, I do.
Black Summer, the zombie TV show that was on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie King was in it. Renewed for season 2.
Wow, how long ago did we watch that? That was a while ago.
That was...
Surprised it took so long.
I did...
Was that last year?
I don't know. It was last year.
Wow, okay. Well, that's good news.
Yeah, I'm psyched. I really like that. I'm glad that they decided to continue.
Yeah, it ended real crazy, so that'll be different to see what they do. Wow.
Okay, this next piece of news, you could actually see smoke coming out of my ears when I read this one.
Okay.
A while back, they had talked about doing a American Werewolf in London reboot, but it was going to be Max Landis, John Landis' son, was going to do it. So I'm like, listen, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. Don't mess with it. But if you had to, at least if you kept it in the family, I'd feel like maybe it's okay.
I think he got Me Too'd out of Hollywood, though. So
he got canceled. But now it's back on the table. But instead of Max Landis, Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead is involved in the production of it.
Okay. Has Robert Kirkman done other shows? I mean, I know he wrote the comics.
He did The Walking Dead. There's another show called Outcast that was about like demon possession that was on AMC for a little bit.
Okay. Is it a remake?
Why?
Why?
They're calling it a reboot, which I guess is a remake. Can't they just make a different werewolf movie? Why does it have to have the same title?
That's what I don't understand. And I mean, how many people are dying to see a sequel to a movie that's 38 years old now? You know what I mean? Let's be honest, it's known for a scene in particular.
But it's also pretty much the best werewolf movie. Like,
I don't think there's a pretty much about it. Yeah, it's legitimately a good movie. I'm not saying it's not. Just what a weird thing to do.
It's not asking to be. It's current enough. It holds up still. It's not like watching some other movies like oh, those special effects didn't age well. Those special effects still are the best.
Yep.
So
I don't get it. Why don't just... They're so averse to new properties. I don't understand.
Is it just name recognition? I don't know.
I don't either. There's got to be a million good werewolf books on Amazon. Just grab one. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. So that's it for the news. I'm hoping it's just one of those things where, like the Fright Night remake was enough like the old one that you could call it Fright Night, but it was also pretty different. So
True.
If they do that and just keep it the title and just do something completely different, if you just do kind of like the Psycho with Vince Vaughn rehash.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's a good point. The Fright Night wasn't bad. Maybe this will be along those lines, and we'll get a movie we enjoy. Maybe not a classic, but something we like. Let's hope.
We'll hope. All right, that's all I got. Want to go into what we watched?
Let's do it.
All right.
We have such sights to show you.
All right. What do you got on? What do you got for us this week?
I actually have a fairly short one. Only 2 real horror movies on here, but I wanted to watch something because you mentioned it the other day, and I wanted to bring it up. I watched Angel Has Fallen, the 3rd movie in that Has Fallen trilogy, since we were talking about Gerard Butler, and I liked it. I like all these movies. They're cheeseball 80s action movies, and I just enjoy them. Some of their effects are really good, and some are just awful, which is like an 80s action movie. So it's got a great cast, as always. Nick Nolte has an appearance in this that is so amazing and hilarious. You have to watch it for that alone. He kills it.
Nick Nolte is in The Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
Yeah, he's got that crazy voice of that.
Yeah, of that like Ugnaught guy or whatever.
Yeah, I love Nick Nolte, and if you're a fan of his, man, he just kills it in this. So, not horror.
What's the premise of this one?
You're not going to believe it, but the president is in danger, and Gerard Butler, being a Secret Service agent, has to figure out what's going on and stop the terrorist plot. I know that's completely different than the rest of the series, but that's what this is.
Who's the president?
Morgan Freeman. It's just the same cast, plus Nick Nolte and Jada Pinkett Smith appears. Otherwise, it's the same people.
And the Channing Tatum ones that are like the same exact thing.
Oh, yeah. What was that called? Like White House
Down or something?
I didn't like that nearly as much as these.
Jamie Foxx was the president?
Was he the president, Jamie Foxx?
I think so.
I only vaguely remember that movie because, why watch that when I can watch Gerard Butler smash things? So, yeah. Not horror, but it was fun.
That's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
All right. I watched a movie that I hope you've seen before, because if not, you need to watch it.
All right.
Have you ever seen Iron Sky?
When I was grabbing the links for it, it's one of those titles that I swear to you I've seen, but I was looking at images from it, and it wasn't ringing a bell.
So I had heard the name before, and I thought, is that like a video based on a video game or something? A buddy of mine I work with was asking me about what I thought of the sequel. And I'm like, I never saw the first one. What is that? Well, he explains it to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm watching that tonight. At the end of World War II, a group of Nazis flee and take shelter on a moon base on the dark side of the moon.
Okay.
And then, in modern times, the U.S. sends a spaceship up to the moon, and they are attacked by Nazis in spacesuits and taken into the moon base, where they have built a space fleet and are planning to conquer the world.
Of course. Of course.
So basically, it's space Nazis versus humanity. And the astronaut that they capture is a black guy. And so these people are very sheltered, and some of them had never even seen a black guy before. So it's a comedy sci-fi action film, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, here comes Hunter.
Hello, final guys.
Hey there. I'm glad you showed up. Have you ever seen Iron Sky?
Oh God, yes.
I watched that this week. I'd never heard of
That movie's amazing.
it. Yeah, I was just telling him, space Nazis on the moon attacking Earth, and I mean, I don't know what else you need to know.
That's all you need to say. And they've been teasing the sequel where they go to the center of the Earth and there's dinosaurs and Hitler riding a dinosaur.
Yes. Udo Kier is in this.
Oh, that normal guy.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't watched this. Damn it.
I had heard of it, but I'd never seen it. And once it was explained to me, I was like, oh, I'm going home right now. The special effects are surprisingly good.
For a cheapo movie, they are.
Cheapo movie. It could have been a little bit funnier, but it's space Nazis. Just watch it.
Where did you see it?
I'm pretty sure it was on
Prime.
Prime.
And there's a sequel now, so okay.
There's a sequel. So that's next on my list. I think it's out.
The sequel's made?
Iron Sky: The Coming Race is available on Amazon for $5.
I may wait till the price comes down, but I'm gonna watch it.
I'm goose stepping all the way to Amazon.
You know, I swear I saw this, but I'm gonna have to watch it now that it's on Prime. How with it?
And there's a sexy blonde Nazi girl in it too. So,
Jason, I'm surprised you didn't see this because
I don't know how it slipped through the cracks. It does seem like something I would watch.
It doesn't even qualify for so bad it's good because it's good.
I like to bring things as a public service to make sure people are aware of the art that's out there.
Thanks, man.
Hunter, what did you watch this week?
Oh God! All right, hold on. I was traveling, from work, and it's Thanksgiving week, so it sucks. I don't know who invented this whole thing, a demon or liberals, so they could have some agenda about greenhouse gases. I don't know. So I packed a bag with me. And it's a cold bag, and I have a tall boy of beer in here. Bag of old ice that's been sitting in the work freezer for a year. All right, I got my light. I'm drinking light right now because it's all going to get heavy by Thursday.
Thursday? Why not tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is cooking and tequila. I try to combine those two.
Oh, tequila doesn't count. I see. I gotcha.
No, that's not alcohol. That's just stuff. All right, I'll talk about a movie. I saw a movie that's been getting a lot of buzz lately. Good buzz. Itsy Bitsy.
So this has been on my to-do list for a while, but as I was explaining to Jason, I'm getting tired of having so many subscriptions to things and then pay-per-viewing something. So I'm holding out. So give me the review.
Hold out, brother. Hold out.
Oh, wow.
By the way, I've been on Jack's to-do list for many years.
Elusive Hunter Shea.
This is one of those I thought, all right, this kind of looks cool. It's a creature feature. I love like arachnophobia. What was Eight-Legged Freak? So I'm thinking maybe it's got that kind of vibe. Because that seems to be what works. Kingdom of the Spiders. Jack, do your... Shatner dramatically pulling.
I love that movie.
Oh, that's awesome. So I went into this very excited. Had the whole family downstairs. Said we're going to buy this. It's like $4. We're going to rent this sucker. Settled in, and my God, this is slow. It takes itself very seriously. By the way, which I think is the wrong move
for a spider movie. That's terrible.
Yeah. It's about a woman who she's lost a child. The child has passed away, and she's got a son and a daughter. And she's moving from the city to this nowhere podunk town where the Brants all live. And she's going to take care of this old professor, archaeologist, anthropologist, not entirely sure. You remember him. Oh, his name now escapes me. Something Davis.
He's the guy who's in everything. He was in the X-Men movie. He was the politician that gets turned into a water.
Bruce Davison, I think.
That sounds right.
So she's there to take care of him because we learn she's a nurse, but you don't find that out for like an hour into this movie. Like the whole time I'm going, what is she doing? So she's like the worst mom ever. Like, you root for her to die in a terrible way, but you know how things work in Hollywood. It's going to be the arc. But I'm telling you, not a lot happens in this movie. And the spider is like, it's not necessary. It is a spider, but it's the spirit of a thing that's released from this egg that gets shattered. This dude, there's nothing I can say other than ignore the hype. I'm sure Steve Barnard likes it. I'm sure Tim Meyer, this might be his favorite movie of the year. But for everybody else, it's gonna piss you off, especially if you've paid even $4 or $5 for it.
The trailer looks so good.
I know, because they have the little itsy bitsy spider song, and it's cut really well. The movie is a slog, man, just a slog, and it shouldn't be. It's a monster flick.
Well, you did not sell me on that.
No,
It made me feel better. That I honestly almost watched it this week, and then because I paid for Trick, I'm like, I'm not paying for two. I'm being frugal.
I did this and Trick one after the other. Trick's on me. I think they watched that movie Monster. Remember that movie with the alcoholic mom and her daughter? I think they watched that and said, you know what, we could do that with spiders. No, you can't.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah. So this is my public service.
Thank you.
Excellent. I have lost track of who it's because your turn, Jason.
So I saw on Amazon Prime, Hatchet 2 and 3 finally came up. The first one was on a couple weeks ago, and I caught it for the first time. So I thought, oh, what the hell? I'll watch Hatchet 2. If you like the first one, this is pretty much more of the same. It's insane. It's gory kills. It's more humor than horror, which I think really helps it because of its budget and kind of the way it's shot and everything. If you find it funny, you're going to like this movie. If you don't find Adam Green's humor funny, then probably like the first one, you're not going to dig it. So I really like the cast of this. I mean, you get to see Danielle Harris starring, Tony Todd starring, and Kane Hodder starring. Even though Kane Hodder's not recognizable, but it's just fun. I mean, AJ Bowen is in this, which shocked the hell out of me because this came out, 2010?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. You know, it's the R-rated version on there, so I wasn't sure what all I was missing from the unrated. These movies are already gory as hell, so I don't know. Basically, some people go in. The story picks up right at the end of Hatchet 1 when Danielle Harris escapes. I don't know if you haven't seen it, whatever. It's.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it a long time ago, and I don't remember much about it.
I watched all three one after the other when I was sick.
It's a slasher. There's a final girl. I know it's surprising. Anyway, it picks up immediately afterwards. So it just goes right into the story. She meets up with Tony Todd, and they go back into the swamp to go after Victor Crowley. It's fun. I like it. I'm surprised it's been such a long amount of time since these came out, and I never got to them. So I'm happy I'm finally revisiting them. And I like Adam Green's stuff. He's a pretty funny guy. Hatchet 2, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'll get around to those someday. Doing a podcast like this, there'll just come a day where I've gone through every single movie preview on the list, and tonight's the night for Hatchet.
Yeah, that's basically what happened to me here. I think we lost Hunter.
I'm back.
He's back. Okay.
I didn't want to hear the end of your review. I said, fuck it. I don't care.
That's fair. I don't think anybody else did either.
Well, you're going to want to hear this one because I got a doozy. I watched a movie called Dead Time Stories, which is an anthology that was from 1986. I don't know, Hunter, if you've ever seen this. I doubt, Jason, you've even heard of this movie.
I probably saw it in 87.
Yes. So the reason I watched this is because I did watch this back in the 80s. And I never forgot this movie. It's a cheesy little 3-story anthology based loosely on fairy tales. So there's the first one actually features the guy who played Nick from Family Ties, Scott Valentine, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
And he's it's like in olden times, like fairy tale times, and he's a slave to these two witches and stuff happens. The second story is a Little Red Riding Hood story, but it's in modern times and it's a werewolf story. And then the third one is a takeoff on Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but the Three Bears are like escaped mental patients, and Goldilocks is a psychotic psychic.
Okay.
So it's a low budget, goofy movie. But why do I remember this movie? Because when I was watching this movie the first time with my buddy Tom, who was my horror soulmate, we would watch movies together, all horror movies together, toast all the kills, go to the video store, flip a coin, and whoever won got to pick the movie and stuff like that. This was in our heyday. And we're watching this movie, and during the second one, I suddenly jumped off the couch because they were filming. My friend Tom's father was a cop who directed traffic on this main street on my road, and my mother worked in a building right near where his corner was. This movie's filmed right there. There's a drugstore across the street. They're in the alley where my mom used to work. So I jump on. I'm like, oh my God, look where they are.
So it had local appeal.
Local appeal. Then there's a scene later on in the movie that I'm pretty sure, and that where I live now is even closer to where it is. I'm pretty sure they were on, like, my uncle used to live a few blocks over that way. I'm pretty sure that they were walking down that street. If not, it's one of those. So we're like, oh my God, it's filmed here. Then in the third one, they go to this pizza place that's like a famous pizza place here. And I mean, they show the sign and everything. So we were just freaking out. So when I found it on Amazon Prime, I'm like, oh my God, Dead Time Stories. So I watch it. It's so funny. I texted Tom and he's like, I can't believe I don't remember this. I'm like, I can believe you don't remember it because it was like 1986.
Yeah. And it's that memorable.
But I was a little surprised because I remember freaking out so much. So it was so funny though, seeing it now, because some stuff looks exactly the same. Like they're in a drugstore that's not there anymore. But like certain things look exactly the same, and other stuff, it's like a little time capsule. There's only a few scenes where I recognize places, but this movie will always have a place in my heart. As far as anthologies go, if you want to watch a goofy, schlocky 80s VHS type movie, go for it. Don't go out of your way to see it, but if you're from Connecticut, you might want to check it out.
So,
better than Body Bags?
I don't think I've seen Body Bags, so I can't comment.
leave Body Bags alone. So this is a good movie if you grew up within 2 blocks of you. Otherwise, give it a pass.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, local appeal, it means a lot. That's why, like, Son of Sam is my favorite serial killer, because he's a hometown boy who done good.
Yeah. When I see movies set in Baltimore, I remember why I don't go down there.
It's a very low budget, cheesy movie, but there's actually great gore effects in it.
Oh, there are.
Yeah.
And they're practical because of when they came out.
If you want a time capsule for a good cheesy 80s movie, you could do worse than this one.
Cool.
Who's next there? Hunter, you up?
Me. I watched a movie that was on maybe Shudder. I started watching it 2 weeks ago and something happened to our Wi-Fi. So I got like 20 minutes in and had to bail because it just shit the bed. And I was like, but I thought I saw this when I was younger. It's called The Being.
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's got this creature on the cover that looks like a big sperm covered in tar. That's the best I can describe what this thing is.
I think I saw that at the VHS store, but it was behind the curtain.
Probably. The coming of O. So I watched. The best part was I'm sitting there, during the opening credits, and I'm like, starring Martin Landau. I'm like, oh, this is classic Martin Landau when he's doing like, From Within and all these bad movies. And Ruth fucking Buzzy.
Ruth Buzzy.
Ruth Buzzy. How many horror movies have Ruth Buzzy in them?
Wow. Was she a little old woman? Get up.
I mean, she was Ruth Buzzy. I think she was the mayor's wife or somebody's wife who was trying to stamp out, she was a Puritan and trying to purify the town. But then at one point she's wearing like this nice little clingy dress, and I'm like going, wow, Ruth Buzzy had a good body, and I'm really disturbed right now. I don't know how I feel. But basically, it's this town, and there's some toxic waste going on, and then there's this monster that comes from the toxic waste that like attacks like lovers making out and stuff. I will say, for a very cheap movie, the special effects are actually not bad. I mean, it's the monster is what the monster is, but when the monster kills, there's a lot of blood and gore. So it's just like these kind of movies, you just have to wait a very long time to get to those points. And the main guy who plays the lead, the sheriff, I think he went to the acting school that was taught by a block of wood. And he just imitated that block of wood until he said, I got it. So he is like one of the worst you've ever seen. But you
had me at Ruth Buzzy.
I'm telling you, I can't pass down. And Martin Landau. Martin Landau was like, he's the guy from like the EPA who was saying, there's no radiation here. Everything's good until his head gets pulled off. Then he might believe a little differently.
If you had 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon and said, can you connect Ruth Buzzy to Martin Landau? I would have never known that it's a first degree.
First degree, baby. Like for an old 80s monster movie, I had a ball with it. It's not very good, but
so we should double feature that and Dead Time Stories.
Yes, definitely. This would be like a good double feature with like Grizzly or Prophecy or one. It's like it's got that kind of vibe.
Okay. And that was on Shudder.
I think it was Shudder.
Cool. All right, my turn.
Yeah,
I followed up Hatchet 2 with Hatchet 3. This one was not directed by Adam Green, which surprised me. Written by him, though. So I like this one a lot, too, but I thought it was a little lesser than the other two. I don't know. I hate to say it was too ridiculous because all of these movies are ridiculous, but I don't know. When I see a guy cutting through a metal wall with a belt sander, I'm like, what? I don't know. It's just parts of it were so ridiculous that I was having some trouble with it. But still funny, ridiculously gory. I mean, the kills they do in these movies are just absolutely insane. So I would say each one has been a step down from the first, but I've enjoyed all of them. I kind of feel like when I was watching the Sleepaway Camp movies a couple months ago, I was surprisingly liking these significantly more than I thought I would. And I think it's that irreverent tone, just the humor they put through them that kind of elevates it beyond your typical slasher. So I'm happy with this.
I dare you to carry that feeling to part 4.
I have been warned by a lot of people that 4 is not the best. What's that called? Victor Crowley, I think.
Victor Crowley, yeah.
It's on the agenda. It's not on Prime, so I'm not gonna to pay for it most likely, but we'll see. Depends how much I drink this Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a tough
I'll get the
one.
family around the TV and I'll just put on Victor Crowley.
Come on, everybody! I heard it's great.
So I'm digging the series. If you haven't seen them, they're worth a watch on Amazon.
I watched something completely different than what you watched. This is my last thing.
You watch your neighbor changing across the street. I know.
I'm doing that right now. I mentioned that I got Disney Plus. There's not a whole lot of genre stuff on Disney Plus, so I've been mining for a few things that I could bring to the table. And I found something that if you have kids, you could show them. It's a movie that when I first met my buddy Lewis, Hunter, he's got a great... I told his story about the white lady. He was the guy in the car who snapped a picture and they took off in the car. Right. When I first got in and he realized I was into horror, he's younger than... He's probably your age, Jason. He was like, oh, did you ever see Mr. Boogedy? The Disney movie? And I'm like, no, I think I've heard of it. He goes, oh, that's awesome. It scared me when I was a kid. So I looked it up and it's on Disney Plus now. It was a 1986 made-for-TV movie. It was on the Disney Sunday Movie. Mm-hmm. So 86, I was past the age of watching the Sunday Night Disney. When I was a kid, though, my God.
We hope.
Yeah. Well, now here I am watching Disney Plus when I'm freaking old.
Nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm.
But the thing that made me hit play, though, number one, it's only 45 minutes long.
Good.
Number two, it stars Christy Swanson,
Oh,
John Astin, Richard Masur, who's the guy from The Thing.
Richard Mazer from New Rochelle.
Mazer, yeah.
Yeah, and One Day at a Time.
And It, and everything. He's in everything.
Yeah, for a period of time, he was everywhere. Jason, he's the dog guy in The Thing.
Oh, okay.
I had to look up his name because I'm just like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He's in Shoot to Kill.
Oh, I love Richard Mazer.
And I didn't know this till I looked it up on Wikipedia because I was like curious about a couple of things. The oldest son is little David Faustino. You might know him better as Bud Bundy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
I bet he was the same size as he is now.
Just less scruff. So basically, this family moved they moved to Lucifer Falls, New England.
Oh, I hope there is such a place.
Well,
and New England, too.
Their state is New England. Lucifer
Be
Falls,
anywhere.
New England. The father's a gag gift salesman who's just bought like a franchise store or something. And then when they move into the house, there's like this shadowy figure in the living room, and it's John Astin, who's like the town historian, who tells them that he tells that the house is haunted by Mr. Boogedy, who like goes boogity boogity boo.
Oh my God.
This sounds racist. I'm thinking there's racial undertones here.
Finally, like in the last, like this made me remember just a lot of stuff that was on when we were kids. You never saw any of the good stuff till the last 20 minutes of the show. So you sit through a lot of like, oh, the toaster moved or something scary happens or whatever. And you finally see Mr. Boogedy towards the end. And he's this glowing green dude who was a pilgrim or something like that. And he had made a deal with the devil and everything. So the thing, one of the reasons I watch it though is because I've heard other people since Lewis told me about this have like mentioned like, oh, Mr. Boogedy, that scared me so much when I was a kid. So it's not like one of the movies that got me when I was a kid, but I've heard a lot of other people say it. So I want to check it out. And so I was like, well, if you're watching Disney Plus and you're jonesing for something semi-horror and you've got little kids in the room, this is a good compromise.
Mr. Boogedy. They don't even have to be your kids, just random kids you found.
Yeah,
Take
just
them
go to the schoolyard and...
You want to watch Disney streaming with me? I got Mr. Boogedy on.
Hey there, muscly arm. You want to watch Mr. Boogedy?
Boogedy boogedy boo!
Awesome.
Christy Swanson before everything.
Oh my God, love Christy Swanson.
Wow.
There was
we helped her
sequel,
set her table up at Horrifying.
Oh yeah?
She was like, I've never done this before. What do I do? And me and my girls helped her, and she gave my girls a signed steak from Buffy.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was nice. Wow. But like they're taking out pictures of her, like her 8x10s from like her Playboy shoot. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, maybe the kids shouldn't see this. Too late now.
Oops.
Mental note for after the show, Christy Swanson.
Yeah, I know. Can't you give me one of those? Why don't you give them the kids steaks?
All right. Anybody else got anything?
Crabs, but other than that, I'm good.
All right, let's get to the. I think when we're talking about this main feature, if you had to choose between Crabs and Trick, what would you pick?
Oh,
this is not a trick question.
All over Crabs. With my Movember beard, I want crabs in the beard. I want crabs
Spoilers.
everywhere.
Jeez.
All right, let's get to the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Okay, so last week we were trying to decide what to watch. We almost.
Do you guys mind if I just look at my phone while we do this part?
I don't know.
All right, thanks. I gotta catch up on my Instagram.
We wanted to. We were thinking about The Shed, the vampire movie, and we said, "Nah, let's go with Trick."
Yeah, that was my
What
bad.
the hell?
I think I was the one to recommend that. Oops.
Well, yeah, because it had a higher rating than the other one that Jack suggested.
That's true.
That's
The
what
Shed. So who knows how that one is?
I'm not going near it.
And so we've got the anticipation as to what we all thought of this is incredible.
By the way, we're gonna vamp through this whole freaking section here.
Jason, your turn. Give us a recap of Trick.
Okay. A non-spoiler one. So at a college party, they're playing Spin the Knife on Halloween, as you do.
What town does this happen in?
One of the guys playing it, who doesn't take his mask off, decides to take the knife and slaughter a bunch of college kids. He gets stabbed, goes to the hospital. Mike Tomlin, Omar Epps shows up, and he's a cop investigating this, and then the guy escapes.
Is that the coach of the Steelers?
He looks exactly like him. I mean, it's a spitting image.
I wish he talked like Tomlin, because Tomlin, what it comes out of his mouth is gold.
Anyway, this dude escapes, and it starts this obsession with Mike Tomlin, trying to find him through the years. And every Halloween, this kid, his name was Patrick something, and they call him Trick.
His name is Patrick.
He comes back every Halloween and kills people. And most of the movie takes place 4 years after the initial event, and they're trying to catch him, and they think he's back again, killing. I guess. I don't care.
So, since you recapped it,
actually,
would you
I kind of liked it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was interesting. No, this was not good.
Oh, so I was ready to quit the show.
I mean, we'll talk about stuff in spoilers. I appreciate what they were attempting to do. It just wasn't very well done. A lot of stupid things happen. People do some pretty idiotic stuff, and it kind of makes for a movie that 30 minutes in, I thought maybe I dozed off and hadn't realized it and had missed a section and didn't understand what was happening. So I went back after I finished the movie. No, I saw everything. I just... I don't know if my brain shut off or what the deal was, but this is not great.
Hunter.
By the way, my middle name is Patrick. My grandfather was Patrick. I grew up in a town that was all Irish, and half the kids were named Patrick. Not one mother effer was ever called Trick. First of all,
I got to be honest with you. Until this very moment, I didn't realize that that's why they called him Trick.
They called him Patrick like 30 times.
Well, look, this movie, my wife swears that towards like the end of the second half of this movie that I was sleeping with my eyes closed. She says at one point I put my hand over your eyes.
With your eyes open.
With my eyes open. I say close, yeah, open. So I don't know. I think if you go back from the end to the beginning, like if you're a writer and you come up with this cool idea, I think there's a cool idea here. I just don't think it was executed well at all.
It was good when it was called Scream.
When it was called Fight Club.
Yeah, it had it. I think the big issue. Well, look, the moment you told me last week, oh yeah, it stars Omar Epps. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Okay, sure. So the cast wasn't that stellar. Here's the saving grace. It was better than Itsy Bitsy.
Wow.
So like when it ended, I'm like going, oh, that wasn't so bad, because I had just slogged through Itsy Bitsy, and then when I woke up the next day, I'm like, oh no, they were equally bad.
Oh, ringing endorsement.
I'll say this. It had a good opening. The scene at the party,
okay,
pretty good. And throughout the movie, whenever somebody got stabbed, they really got stabbed.
Yeah, pretty roughly. It's aggressive.
Having said that, shortly after that opening scene, funny when you said about 30 minutes in, I don't know, somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes in, I drastically lost interest in what was going on in this movie.
I know.
And I'm watching it and going, okay, what? Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure, that. And just, I apathetically watched this movie that would continue to unravel. And the irony of Jamie Kennedy being in this movie that was borrowing so liberally from Scream.
Yeah.
You guys are going to make fun of me for this? He was in this?
He's
Yeah.
the doctor that had the goggles.
I didn't realize
he's-
that was him.
He's the doctor with the
Oh my
ponytail.
God.
Yeah, and the
He looks-
steampunk goggles for some
Right.
reason.
He looks very tired.
Yeah, when I first saw that guy, I'm like, oh my God, he looks like a total, like, I don't know what century this guy's coming out of.
Well,
I didn't realize that was Jamie Kennedy. Holy
He's coming
crap.
fresh off the ass blasters to this.
You know, it's very hard to follow an ass blaster.
Yeah, so by the end of this, I was like, wow, pretty good opening scene. If this movie had been a 10-minute short, probably would have loved it.
Yeah, if you ended it at the very beginning.
Yeah.
I agree, because that beginning was actually kind of cool.
The beginning
Pretty
lost me
girls.
right away because when
Good
he's
kill.
stabbing everyone in the party and no one is doing anything about it, I was like, what the hell is going on? This dude is 5.5 feet tall. There's a giant guy dressed like a football player. Like, why are they watching him stab all these women? Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, this is true. And the only one who's like brave enough is that woman dressed as a nurse trying to be a nurse.
Yeah, so I was already, like, my hackles were up watching that scene. And then when Jamie Kennedy appeared with the steampunk goggles, I don't know what happened to my brain and it just switched off, which is pretty amazing because a lot happens in this movie. It's not boring pacing wise. There aren't long drag out scenes of dialogue. There's somebody's getting killed every 5 minutes and I just could not follow it. It's weird, but something just did not click with my brain.
Well, no, it's like I kept trying to engage with this movie, and I don't know what it is. There's something that's missing from this that makes it engaging. Maybe a lot of things.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm having trouble articulating some of it because I should have been more into it than I was, but man, maybe it was just all the dumb stuff people would do. I don't know.
You're having trouble articulating, but I was having trouble hearing because the sound on this movie was so bad. There were times where people were talking. It was like the microphone was in the other room, or they were recording on an iPhone or something like that. And it's like, and then they would come back into.
It's like Kentucky Fried Movie when they're on the talk show and the mic goes into like the glass on the guy's heart, the chest, and you hear his heart stop beating. But yeah, there was a point in this movie where I'm like, the only thing that's going to save this is if the killer is aliens. And this becomes an abduction movie or something. I'm like, if I see this, or Jean-Claude Van Damme comes out and starts kicking ass.
Well, there was one redeeming quality of this that made it, I don't want to say good, but made parts of it watchable. Tom fucking Atkins is in this movie a pretty significant amount in the second act. And he is glorious in every scene.
That silver fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
He was running in scenes. I mean, he's in his 80s, right?
He's close to it if he's not
Shooting
80.
shotguns. I mean, he looked great. So love me some Tom Atkins.
It was trick photography.
He did tell us that thing they smoked a lot of weed. Maybe that helps.
I don't know, maybe. I'm trying to think of something else. I don't know. Like,
I mean, I don't want to get into the spoiler, but I like the idea at the end. Like the third act, I liked the concept of it.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. I'm not going to say it.
We could ring this bell because I think people have gotten the idea.
That was the redeeming quality for me, was that part in the third act.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to spoilers.
All right.
You wanna? Let's take this apart scene by scene first. How did this get made?
We're going to spoil the hell out of Trick
All right.
because we have to say something to kill time on this movie because
It's going to be a short episode.
So I'm sorry I interrupted you with the spoiler bell, but let's just take the gloves off. Jason, go ahead.
I mean, the movie's Fight Club. Everyone's in on it in the town. Your doctor, your lawyer, your cop, the guy cleaning the toilets, whatever. They all want to be killers who follow an 18 or a 19-year-old kid for some reason and glorify him and hold him up and become Scream killers. So it's Fight Club meets Scream meets Saw.
Yeah, our pal Steve
Yeah.
Barnard, he on Twitter, he said his Scream and Saw had a kid. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. I definitely felt the Scream vibe in it.
Yeah. pretty people getting killed. Here's what, and you brought this up, Jason. Why are they following this guy? Like, give me a reason why this is the guy that they want to commit murder for.
Yeah, at least Jamie Kennedy's a doctor. He's established. He's like somebody. He's like 19 in college. How does he start a cult?
Yeah. Yeah, they never explore that, which actually could have been, if you work your way backwards, you could have made something really cool with that. But, you know, it was just a slasher with a cool idea with nothing holding all those pieces together.
Yep.
Except, by the way, Omar Epps.
Mike Tomlin.
How in the name of holy fuck is he alive at the end? They stabbed him so many times and every time they stab, they twist the knife in major organs, and he's walking with the cane in the end, ready to go on the road.
Everyone else gets stabbed once in the lower abdomen, dead within 10 seconds.
I know.
Mike Tomlin just takes it and takes it and takes it, and then he's alive. But that scene is such a great example. That whole third act it really sums up the things I liked about the movie, the story idea they tried to do, and then all the problems. They think they're going to catch Trick, right? And he's running out a door, and there are two cops standing there, and he runs literally right past them. They don't even try to stop him. They're like, oh, call it in. Like, what? And then a dude shows up in a wheelchair,
lunch break,
the original Trick, and somehow is getting the better of people in fights. He's in a goddamn wheelchair.
That's made to look like an electric chair.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, he was kicking some ass in that wheelchair.
Like that kind of stuff was my biggest problem with it. Just people doing dumb shit.
But Michael Myers hasn't been wounded as grievously as Mike Tomlin in this.
Mike Tomlin's tough as nails.
So maybe he's the supernatural slasher. Because he sure ain't human.
Is Mike Tomlin on Instagram or Twitter? We should just send him stuff from this movie.
What's the Omar Epps movie? Christy Swanson's in it. They're all at a college, and there's the Nazis, like the skinhead guys.
Oh God!
Higher Learning. I think it's Higher Learning.
Look it up.
Yeah, look that up because
there's that, and he's also in Dracula 2000.
So he's batting 1,000 in the horror
that
show.
One. Yeah, Omar Epps and Christy Swanson.
Gerard Butler's in Dracula 2000. You got to watch that. He's your boy.
Maybe I will now.
Gerard.
He's Dracula.
What else happened in the movie?
I watched it a few nights ago, and honestly, it's all a blur now.
I watched it an hour before we started, and
it's fresh.
Yeah, and it's already evaporating.
The outfit that Jamie Kennedy is wearing with the steampunk, I was like, he looked like the Professor Pat Pending from the Wacky Races. There's a obscure reference for people. I was just like, what the hell is he? Is he going to fly a balloon away or something?
Yeah, I didn't get. It looked like he should be working in a lab on lasers or something.
I'm going to go around the world in 80 days.
Yeah, I did not get that.
By the way, Sheridan just came up with a great movie title, American History Epps. I would watch that.
I'd buy that for $1.
I also didn't understand the story part where they think Trick is dead, even though he comes back every year and kills people. And then the same day, people are dying again, and no one believes Mike Tomlin that Trick is back. What?
Yeah. Well, could have been a copycat. And by the way, Trick also sustained some incredible damage, but at least he was in a wheelchair when it was all said and done.
the CG when that dude splatters on the sidewalk.
That was so funny. Even him going out the window.
Yeah. And then he's just...
It was sped up and just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like like Three Stooges if they had CGI.
Yeah. And also they could make a supervillain? Was that the reason they were all doing this? To make people afraid of the supernatural or something?
I think this movie's going to fold into The Purge. This is how The Purge starts.
I was so checked out by the end. I don't remember any details on why they were doing it. I was just like, how much longer? How much longer?
I just remember it was like 11:30 at night, and when I saw Omar Epps come hobbling in, I'm on the couch half asleep, but I go, "What the fuck?" And then we laughed, and I was like, "Oh, all right, end this."
So the scene where the wheelchair guy comes out, where Trick comes out, and there are all the other Tricks standing there, all the other guys. Two cops run up, and they don't worry about the evil villains who've been murdering everyone. They go right to Omar Epps. They're like, "Are you okay?" What?
It's
yeah. So
it's pretty incredible. Maybe we should watch it again this week, but we should catalog everything that's going on and do another episode where we break it apart. Let's break it down.
I want to get the director's cut. That's 4 hours.
It's all full frontal nudity of Jamie Kennedy, director's cut.
You guys are going to have to bear that cross. I watched The Howling 7 this year. My penance, like, I'm good.
You're done.
Can't handle these movies anymore.
Only good movies from here on. By the way, speaking of from here on, is there anything worth watching up until Black Christmas?
You're counting Black Christmas as something worth watching?
I can't even say it with a straight face.
We're not sure what we want to watch next week. So
maybe we should go old school. Go into the grab bag and find some old
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out over the break and talk. I don't want to decide now.
You know what? Let's all watch Castle Freak.
Discussing this movie has sapped all of Jack's energy.
Just revisiting it it's like tryptophan. I need.
He's less of a man because of this. Look what this has done to you.
I feel like I just ate a turkey dinner just talking about
You're
this
like
movie.
leaning back in your chair and slumping over.
I did watch it like I was like tripping. I mean, literally, possibly asleep with my eyes open. It might be a first.
It was something.
But I will tell you, if you're going to watch this, watch Itsy Bitsy first if you want to have a better experience with this. Because you'll be like, oh, all right, that's better. At least for a moment.
I will watch Itsy Bitsy once it's free.
If it's free, you have a debilitating disease, you're in bed, the TV's on that channel, the remote has fallen on the floor, and you can't get it. Then you should.
No, actually, after what you said, I may fast forward a little bit. Just get to the spider parts.
Or I'll come to your house and we'll watch Kingdom of the Spiders.
There you go. I have the DVD.
I do too.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Mike Tomlin, I would say tune into CBS at 1:00 Sunday. That would be about the extent of. Do not watch this.
Who's your quarterback going to be for Sunday?
Devlin Hodges. Welcome to Final Guy Sports Talk.
Devlin Hodges. That sounds like a porn star.
His nickname is Duck. It's going to be fun.
Sounds like a
the
guy
duck
from,
guy.
It sounds like the guy from Days of Our Lives. Devlin.
Oh, Devlin. Well, I assume because Mason's out, he actually said something he shouldn't have said to get bashed in the head with a helmet.
Shit. Jack, please get us out of here. We're talking about football instead of.
Why can't we talk about football? People have other interests. Let's talk about manscaping. Let's go out on manscaping.
Have you seen the lawnmower? It's a trimming product that, I mean, they're not a sponsor or anything like that. But if you're looking for a trimming product, it looks very safe.
The thing that doesn't nick your sack that they keep talking about? Literally, Jason, I'm not kidding you. On local radio here, they say it doesn't nick your sack.
Oh, okay. I do see on YouTube there's all these like manscaping promotions. They're paying all these YouTubers to talk about these products now. It's freaking hilarious.
Look, they should pay me and Jack because we got a shit ton to manscape.
I think they call it the lawnmower.
Yeah, we're like two Greek fishermen. We have a lot of like surface area we could work on.
We sell Sasquatch costumes.
You'll get there, Jason. You'll get there where like the hair on your shoulders is longer than any hair you've ever had on your head, and it happens overnight.
I'm very excited.
All right. Well, that's it for hair talk.
What's next, guys?
You're on the hair.
9:00.
Have we hit an hour yet?
We got 1 minute. Okay. Well, all right. So we'll figure out what we're going to watch next week. In the meantime, you're welcome if you haven't seen Trick and we've stopped you, congratulations. If you watched Trick, the anticipation of the show, welcome to the club.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Hey, we're all comrades in arms now. We've
Yeah.
been in the foxhole together.
I'm gonna go listen to It's Tricky.
I'm gonna watch The Greasy Strangler with no clothes on
Oh boy.
in the car wash.
So listen, it's Thanksgiving. We're grateful for everybody who supports the show, all these clowns in the chat room, everybody who does all those things we ask them to do, or even if you don't, as long as you're listening to the show. Thank you. We're very grateful. Anything else, guys?
I suppose maybe I'm grateful for you two, Wangs.
Oh,
Yeah, how about that?
You know what? I'm going to go so far as to say I'm absolutely grateful, thankful. Happy Thanksgiving to you both, and to all the weirdos who listen to this all the time. What's the matter with you? Play it at Thanksgiving. Play this episode during Thanksgiving dinner. Just have it on in the background like some Tchaikovsky.
Yeah. You know, I'm so thankful for you guys. I'll send you one of those products I saw on YouTube. It was called Dude Wipes. It seemed interesting.
Oh, I saw Dude Wipes. I'll
check
take
your
'em.
mail.
I think there's one called Monkey Wipes too.
Monkey. I don't want to know.
I'm not going to say anything.
All right, we're done.
Oh, God.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Bye.